Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Hope everybody is doing well. Hopefully I can remember how to do a live stream. It's been so long since I was able to live stream. I am kind of bordering on being sick, or have been sick, or probably getting over sick. I'm not even sure at this point. Seems like I've felt sick for the past week, and still kind of got a sore throat, and been working 80 plus hours a week, so, or 40 plus hours a week, talking all the time, so that probably doesn't help. But I'll try and make it through the live stream as good as I can, and yeah, hopefully be able to remember how to do this. It's been, I think my last live stream was like 4 months ago, which is absolutely horrible. Welcome in, Maddie. Yeah, hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And I'm trying to get my chat to where it's going to cooperate, but it's not cooperating. It never does. So I guess I'll just move it over to this window. I really need to get 4 monitors. As bad as that sounds, the kind of like first world problems. But yeah, need to eventually get 4 monitors, because I have 3 currently, and although that sounds like that is a whole lot, it's not nearly enough. So the spam that you see on the screen now, and I don't even know, how can I make this to where it's working? I hate Streamlabs. It's got the poll up here, which is fine, but it's not updating the most recent chats, and I don't know why. Just sign into chat. I've already signed into chat. And I can pop that up, and that's great, but then I can't see my Streamlabs, which is no bueno. Are you wanting me to vote on my own poll? Is that what this is? No, I don't want to close the poll. Oh, I love Streamlabs. I love Streamlabs. Thank you for that, Giddle. I hope that you're doing well. I've been watching quite a bit of your content, and you've been blowing it out of the park with your editing skills. Been really, really cool. Been really enjoying the videos. So you got some chat spam on the screen right now. This is just more or less some testing. And let me try and get my monitor situated. And I guess I'll work off of the middle monitor. Then I can just swap things around like that. Might be the best way of doing it. So let me swap this to the middle monitor capture, and let me just make sure that you guys are able to still hear me. Okay, seems that you're still able to hear me. Let me know if you guys have any problems hearing me at all. Okay, so we should be good, aside from this giant poll that I put up here. I'm just going to, yeah, open that up. Perfect. Okay, so I put up a poll just to see what packs you guys think I should make. And y'all are not making this easy, because I believe we got 3 people in here, and each poll's at 33%. So I'm looking at finishing a weather control pack, which is actually what I started rewriting. This was this one here. And that's basically what you're seeing pop up on the screen right now. I got most all this commented out, and then I have this that I was working on. This would be the clear clock. So to kind of put that into terms with this specific pack, I've made this for the Project Bedrock. For the OGs of the channel, y'all might remember. But basically made a weather control pack, but I wanted to make it more in depth, where it was more controllable. So the other one was kind of like a dummy pack, to where you could control the clear cycle, the rain cycle, and the thunder cycle, and then you could control how often it would toggle each one of those events, and that worked pretty well. However, I wanted to make this more of a smart system, to where it would do that, but on top of that you could also well, I could just go down the list of things here. it would have a toggle regular weather cycle on and off. That way you could switch between like vanilla weather, which is absolute garbage, and you could switch between this pack. I will tell you, switching from vanilla over to the pack that I created for Project Bedrock, night and day difference. So much better than the actual vanilla weather. The vanilla weather, it gets all out of sync and skewed from sleeping, and just makes a really unenjoyable playing experience. It literally is like rain constantly most of the time. And that's what led me to make this pack. I wanted to implement a UI. This is going to be changed over to UI eventually. I don't know. I mean, this is easy enough to implement, not a problem there, but this will eventually break in the future. I just don't know when. Implement commands, that goes without saying. I want to be able to toggle all of these separately, so thunder, rain, and clear. I want to control how often it thunders, how often it rains, how often it clears, just like the old pack. Yeah, it does rain a whole lot, and that's what kind of drove me up the wall, over the roof, and back down the other side. Just horrible, absolutely horrible. And it's been like that for a long time. You'd think that they would have fixed it, but I think the algorithm's kind of garbage with it, honestly. So the control duration, I'd like to be able to add a cooldown. So say that it thundered, I want to be able to add a cooldown for X amount of minutes before it's able to thunder again. And then I also want to add a minimum time for thunder for that to actually take place. Then you can set that to 0 and let it be random, or it can be you know, a minimum amount of time, and then probably a maximum amount of time as well. Although I think the minimum time is probably more of a concern than the max time. Well, maybe. I don't know. We might add a max time in there as well. And then same thing for the rain, same thing for the clear. And then if we wanted to add in the summon ability, like if you wanted to run a command to make it rain or run a command to make it thunder, we could do that, but we would also want to add admin tags, because most people that would want to download this pack probably would consider this cheating. So that would probably be behind an admin tag, where the world admin or the world owner would have to give specific tags to players. So that's one of the packs. I was thinking on doing another pack for the durability, which is was one of the votes. Now I wasn't trying to do anything crazy with durability. Oh, welcome in, David Blue. As far as like a bunch of like visuals, I was mainly going to check durability, and then once it got to a certain amount, be able to basically sound a noise, like a notification, and then maybe once it got down closer, sound it maybe another 2 times, and then once it got down to like under 5 durability, maybe make it go off multiple times. That way it can actually keep people from breaking their weapons. That was another thing that I was thinking about. Or we could do a player location pack, which would basically be something where you could put it on like a server or realm, and if you wanted to see what location the player's at, you could just open it up, and it would basically report all of the players' location and dimension that they're in. That way you don't have to struggle to find them. You could actually just go and find them. Now, whether or not that's something that a lot of people would want on a server, I don't know. I know a lot of people like to try to hide from griefing. So it just really depends. But I mean, with a pack like that, you could really kind of go in depth, because you could even make it where each specific player could kind of turn off the tracking if they wanted, if they didn't want to be tracked. So it just really depends how far in depth you wanted to go. But I was trying to put that vote out, but each of y'all did 33% on each one, so it's kind of up in the air right now. I don't know you guys have seen the other stuff on my channel, let me oh, not DaVinci Resolve, get out of here. So this one, let me go back here and just comment this out. It's not going to constantly do that, and then we can reload that. That way it's not up in the screen. Yeah, I just know from like playing on Project Bedrock and other servers, you know, you sometimes just want to find out where your buddies are, even if you don't have any ill intent. So that's just something where, you know, I think it would be handy. I try to make packs that are handy. Like, I try to make packs that would be like plausible for, you know, the type of gameplay that I do. It's like the most recent one, which I have on here, which is the F3 screen that I just got done with. And now, given there's still some limitations because Bedrock Edition, needless to say, but with something like this, I was really happy with how this turned out. And hopefully it's something that I can continue to, you know, develop as new things are released as well. But I mean, even just having the ability to like put down redstone dust and be able to check redstone dust signal strength from a distance, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, if we could just get biome detection and stuff like that, which I will say has been added in the beta, and we should be able to have that soon inside of the base game. But yeah, just stuff like that. I like to basically build packs that, you know, people are actually going to use. Welcome in, Renee. I wasn't expecting to see you here. Just making a quick drive by. A little intent, like bringing a ward into me. Oh, somebody's been hanging out in the background. Oh, you heard that, huh? Well, yeah, I mean, I gotta keep tabs on a Renee. But yeah, I mean, most of the time it's probably going to be used for ill intent, but not always. There is some innocent times. Okay, well, we gotta make a durability alarm pack that's at 50%, the other two's at 25%. And I think that I can access durability. Pretty sure I can. So, I mean, we could try real quick. World. And then let me actually fill a loop real quick. I don't know if it's in the randomizers. Might need to go into a different code and pull the loop. Right. Get out of here, music. Weather control pack. Okay, so this should have player loop in it. Or it's repeating over the player. Get all players. Here we go. That's what we're looking for, is that for loop there. Okay. Yes, I agree. Mischief does cause very good content. So I miss hanging out, playing on the server. Always have so much fun. Apparently I forgot to get this, so let's let player equal let player equals players. That should be I believe that should work. Let players equal, yeah, get all players. And that should pull all players, and then this will run a loop at each player. Then we will, which they actually added some new code in here as well. I don't know how much longer we'll have to use the integer for this. But they actually added a code where you can shut down the server whenever the last member plays. So it'll actually like pause the time on the server, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, so if we do player dot, I don't know if it would be under get component. Probably have to get it out of the item stack. Get effect. All right, Giddle, thanks for dropping in. It was good to see you, man. Yes, sir. I'll try my best. I don't know how late I'll be streaming. Maybe an hour or so. We'll have to see. But if you guys have been around in past streams, you know how that goes. So yeah, I'm going to stream for an hour, and then 16 hours later, I'm still on here. If I cough, I do apologize. Before durability damage, item event. Let's take a gander at this. Or let's not, because it's not dragging over. Okay. There we go. Let's take a gander at this. Before durability damage. So on before durability damage, is this in TypeScript or JavaScript? Okay, I believe it's in JavaScript. And apparently I gotta get this out of my way. So let's close that. So we got a function here, custom component. Ability damage hit entity. So the attacking entity, the damage applied to the item's durability when the event occur. Applied to the item's durability. So I mean that would be what we would need really, event durability damage. I don't care about the entity being hit, don't care about the item stack. Well I do, because I need to know which item was used. Components, modifiers. Returns the item stack that has completed charging. You think this is a Tesla? I'm trying to charge any items. Event item stack. Oh, was it after event? Command async. Why is this not giving me before event? Unless I need to access the world, that wouldn't really make much sense. Projectile now. And before, it's just going to give me the item use. Yeah, it's not going to give me much help. Item use on. Let me bring that back up here. Ability. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to with this function called when the item containing the component is used to mine a block. That would be a custom component. I'm not too familiar with custom components. Something that I still need to do a little bit of learning in, or actually a lot of bit of learning in. This they would use attack on hit entity. I would not want to use that. I don't want to rely on an entity in order to make this actually use modifiers in the food component and active on your item to trigger. Use modifiers, dependencies. See, that's the problem. Is that they make everything so... I guess it's just underdeveloped. That's what I ran into a lot with the other one as well. It's like you have to kind of like makeshift everything to make it work the way that you want it to. Like for example, the source here for this program here had to basically to detect if the player's underground, I had to import the allowed block types from transparent blocks, and that was basically a whole list of blocks that I had to basically put in here all one by one. So if all of these are above the player's head, then it will basically be excluded from showing that the player was underground. But if it was Java, you could just be like, well, this player's underground, yes or no. Like the game, you already have that calculation from the game. It's just whether or not you have access to it throughout the API, which is a whole nother bunch of fun. So I was kind of tying this into it with the newer one, for the weather pack. Let me see if this is actually going to be something, because I know they do this and it's possible. Just I don't know how convoluted it is. Kind of like how I explained on the most recent video, where you can technically detect if you're in a biome just by detecting certain blocks that are unique to biomes. However, it's not a very accurate way of doing it. There's a lot of the way that other add-ons work. Use on event source. I think we don't need to know any of that. Custom component. Yeah, this might actually not be possible to really do in a very reliable way as of yet. I might have to do a little thinking on this one. Alright, so give me one moment. I'm going to step away from the computer for a minute and run to the bathroom, and I should be back in just a moment. And then we'll figure out what exactly we're going to do as far as the creation of an add-on. So I'll be right back. Thanks for dropping in, Renee. I hope that you have a good night too. Alright, so let's get this off of here. I think what I want to do, I want to need to do some digging through the documentation and see if I can actually retrieve the let me see where we're at here. Retrieve the actual durability from the item stack. I don't think that we're able to. I think that we have to calculate it another way, which, I mean, I should have already known that with Bedrock being Bedrock. So, like, for example, what some of these other packs are doing, instead of actually pulling the actual durability from the actual durability of the item itself, they're probably taking durability of, like, a netherite sword for that amount and then minusing one durability, for example, every time the player is detected to hit the entity, if that makes sense. Which is not really an ideal way of doing it. So I think what I'll do is just go through with the original plan here. What other pack did I put on the poll? Oh, the player location pack. Should probably just get this one done before I actually move on. That'd probably be the wise thing to do. However, done is a lucrative term. So basically I have these where it's going to send message. I use these for testing. Whenever you see these send messages or run commands or anything like that where there's the two slashes, these two slashes will comment out a section in JavaScript, and that basically tells the code to ignore that, and that it's just a message or just a notation, more or less. So I have these commented out, and then whenever I need to test it, like if I want to see whenever this code actually runs to clear the weather, I'll uncomment that, save that, and then I can just do a quick reload. And then every time that actually clears the weather, it will actually send me that message saying that the weather was cleared. If the code is actually running. I might have turned it off. So was that enabled? Clear enabled, true. Okay. So that should be running, and that should be popping up. Yeah, there we go. It's clearing weather. So what I started working on was the cooldown timer. So we have if clear cooldown timer is greater than clear cooldown input, then run this code. And this code would basically set clear cooldown timer to 0 again. So this is basically allowing it to count up. We have clear cooldown timer, and that by default is set to 0 up here. And then every time this code runs, it would increment by 1, which is indicated by this ++. So it would run it, that'd be 1, run it again, that'd be 2, run it again, that'd be 3, run it again, that'd be 4, and then so forth until it was greater than the clear cooldown input, which up here you can see is set to 5 currently, just for a default value that I just threw in there. So it'd basically run this and it would count up until it got to what this equals, which is 5. And then once it's greater than 5, it would then set clear cooldown to 0 again. And that basically makes this to where we can count up until it gets to a predetermined value. And then we can use that to trigger something, or we can just reset it to that predetermined value. So going back to the whole testing thing again, you can see we can comment that out and uncomment this. This is using a basically showing this in the chat. So I'm sending a message with the value of this. So this will actually show in real time what this number is equal to. So if we save this and then reload it, you can see that it's actually going to show it on screen. What it's doing every 20 seconds, which is when this code block runs, every 20 ticks rather. 20 ticks is equal to 1 second. So every second that this runs, it's going to count up. And then once it reaches where it's greater than 5, then it's going to reset to 0. And it will basically keep doing that over and over. The reason why that's important is because we can use that on a greater scale. So we can make this equal to 1200 ticks, which as you can see would be equal to 1 minute. So if we did 1200, for example, then that would be equal to 1 minute. And then if we go for the 1 minute, that would run this clock every 1 minute. So if that took 1 minute to run and increment that up by 1, then that would equal 5 minutes before this was able to reset, if that makes sense. Hopefully I explained that correctly. So we can use that to say, okay, well, this clear cooldown timer has been running for 5 minutes. So then we can now allow it to start re-clearing the weather like we have up here. So if the clear cooldown is equal to true, then it will allow the weather to start clearing again. The only thing with this, though, is we would want this to only start running if this has just recently cleared. So this would be the cooldown timer. So we would need to figure out how to make that happen. So clear cooldown timer plus plus. So we could do okay. Cleared. We could make a clear equal let's define it first. See, this is why I ended up wanting to rewrite this because this pack was getting very discombobulated with all of the different things going on. So let's make this a Boolean value. So let's make a clear equal false by default. And I guess we should be proper and add all of these to it. Like that, we're cleared. Cleared is false. And this is where the brain kind of twists trying to get all this figured out, if you will. So we're going to set this to cleared. And whenever it runs that, we're going to set that to true. And then this cooldown timer probably only run, however, their cooldown timer is greater than their cooldown input, then to set it. So if we did, if cleared is strictly equal to true, we can run this code block here. And then once it ran that, we do cleared equals false. So I know this probably looks kind of confusing. However, we have the assignment operator here. So this is assigning false to the value cleared. However, these equals to 3 equals here, that means if cleared is strictly equal to true, then you're going to run this code block here. So then it's going to run this, it's going to do another if statement and check if the cooldown is equal to cooldown input. Then it's going to basically set that to 0. However, it's going to remain cleared, set to true, until this code block actually runs. Okay, so that's going to set it to 0. Okay, I think that should work. So let's test it. Let's do another send message just to monitor the value of that cleared. So that should read back a true or false to Boolean. And then CTR is clear. I believe it was clear to reset. I cannot even remember what I set that acronym for. Clear cooldown timer. Clear timer reset, that's what it was for. There we go. Let's make it easier on my small brain. Okay, so I don't think that we could actually toggle this manually. Clear enable is enabled. So let's just see what happens. Famous last words. Let's see what happens. Oh, I got that value way jacked up, don't I? Yep, sure do. Okay, true, true. Set it to false. And then the clock stopped. True, 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 true. Set it to false. Get out of here. True, true, true. And then set it to false. So that keeps incrementing that value. So it must be out of the code block then. If clear cooldown timer plus plus. If clear to set to true. That's why. Not supposed to do that. I mean, you are supposed to do that. Okay, so now it should just go up by 1. Well, 1 loop rather. Okay, let's set it to true. Up at the top then. So it should run once and then it should basically exit out of the code. Perfect. So that would be basically the cooldown, and then you could set that value to however many minutes you wanted for the cooldown. So for example, if you wanted a 5-minute cooldown, you could set the cooldown time for a clear cooldown timer for say 5 minutes. And then you could do with this, that's why I have this clear cooldown input times 20. So if you had, for example, on the input, 5 minutes there. Then it would take the clear cooldown input, which is currently, well, it's defaulted to 0, but that would be the variable one that would constantly pick up. And then the actually clear cooldown input would equal, okay, the same as that. So it would be the 5, and then it would be times by 20, which would give us basically 5 seconds. Yeah, 5 seconds. And then if we took this into account, that would, if this was at 1200 ticks, then that would end up being 5 minutes, is the way that I did that. Now that would just depend, you know, how you wanted to break down the actual timing out. If you wanted to break it down in ticks as opposed to seconds, or as opposed to minutes, you know, minutes might be too steep, but it just all really depends. Welcome in, Super Llama. Yeah, stuff like that is always kind of difficult to set what you want it to for the end user, because it's like, well, if you go with minutes, then it's like, well, then you're limited to 1 minute increments. Whereas opposed, if you do it to set it to ticks, you can, you know, really dial in on exactly how much you want, because then you can do the math with multiplying ticks. But then whenever you try to like send that to like the average player and expect them to do that with having no knowledge of like game ticks or anything like that, it can be very unuser friendly. So that's why I was thinking about keeping it just kind of simple, or maybe I should just do it in seconds. Then you could just do the timeout times the amount of seconds that you want. So yeah, it just all really depends. So I think this will work for the timeout. Cooldown timer. Oh, apparently it doesn't work. Oh, you know what? It doesn't work because I uncommented that. Because now it's going by 5 minutes, or 5 seconds rather, instead of the 5 that I had up there. Okay, take 2. Their cooldown's not defined. It was defined a minute ago. Oh, that's because I'm a dum-dum and I commented out the wrong line of code. Okay, take 27. Okay, perfect. And then basically have the commands and stuff commented out. Well, this one's not commented out. All these other ones are commented out. But with this one, you can see it would change the weather to clear. Now, the other pack that I made it to where it would clear the weather at a much faster rate than it would make a thunder or rain. And that was where it was kind of like a unintelligent system, if you will, where it was just clearing the weather. Like, well, actually, you could see it because this adjustments was from the original pack that I made. So you could see that it was clearing it with a 5 here, and then the clear time input, so 50 there, and then thunder was 200. So it was clearing it at probably whatever the math would be on that, like probably 10 times the rate, I think that would be, as the rain. But like I said, with this one, I want to make it to where it's more of a smart pack with cooldowns and stuff like that, and having the UIs. And if I'm thinking correctly, well, no, I don't think that the clear is going to be more technical. I think it should be about the same. Oh, let me grab a drink. I'll be right back. All right. So if that's true, then we're going to increment that. And then once that increment is at the peak, we're going to set that to 0 and then set cleared to false, which is fine. That there to make it look pretty. That there to make that look pretty. I don't even know why I bother putting those, because my code is so messy and inconsistent as is. Okay, so now let's get the max timer figured out. So once this is cleared, so this would control the cooldown. Clear to set to false. And then we have the clear cooldown set to 0. So that's not even a Boolean value. I mean, we could run this whenever the cleared is set to true. Let's do something other than cleared though. Cleared, maybe toggled. I feel like cleared is very vague. Then let's change this up top here. Cleared toggle. Let's just triple check that works. Cleared is not defined. Of course it's not. So what part did I miss? I forgot the ED. And here. Hold on. What did I do? Cleared? Cleared toggle. It's on line 66. That should count up work just as before. Okay, perfect. And my cat's meowing at the door. I swear, if I could just live stream in peace, that'd be lovely. Okay. Now that we're done with that animal emergency. So basically, because I don't want to wait here all night, I'm doing this in a much faster rate, in seconds more or less than minutes. So that's why everything's a lot faster paced. So Now that we have the cooldown situated, this is basically going to lock out, let's say, for example, the 5 minutes after it's cleared that it's not able to clear again. Which I don't even think that's really necessary. That's more necessary for, like, honestly, the rain, the thunder, stuff like that. So with this, if it's equal to 1, then we're going to toggle the storm. Also have to have the cleared toggled equal to true. That cleared is going to bother me. You guys ever wonder why it takes me so long to make a pack? Over here just arguing with myself on how certain things should be named. Alright, let's retest this, make sure that everything works. Perfect, wonderful. And then honestly, again with like the max, like the max amount of time something's able to be clear, kind of irrelevant, honestly. It's more the thing that's going to be used for like thundering and rain. So let's do, we got max clear time, min clear time. And honestly, I think min clear time would be the same as clear cooldown input. Do this. Man, it's gonna make things messy though. Should I be lazy? No, probably shouldn't be lazy. Let's just go and replace all these. We'll set this to 5. Jeez. And then min clear time is gonna be cooldown input. Min cleared. Clear time input. Is that really the only one? Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. 14. I was gonna say there had to be more than one. 14. So this one and this one. Clear cooldown. No, okay. Okay, so that should be fixed now. Okay, and then we could, if we wanted to, set this to say 10 minutes. Now, again, this would be seconds in our time and the player's actual time. This would be, say, 10 minutes, so that should tick up to 10 for the actual minimum amount of time that it will actually run. And then, yeah, once we get up to 10, it's going to toggle back to 0 and set that to false. Perfect. Okay, then let's work on the max time. So let's do 20 seconds for the max time. Now we need to scratch our brain and figure out how we can do that. So I guess we could actually increment another clear max timer. Increment that up. We're gonna need to find that. We'll let that equal 0 as well. And then I guess we would want to just do another if statement. Increment that up, and then we can do if clear max timer is, let's not do equal to or greater than, is greater than the max clear time. Then we need to run a code block and basically set I think we would set the max clear time back to 0 because we would want to definitely reset that. And then we'd also want to run a command to clear the weather. I think that would go without saying. Wait. And then whenever that runs, clear toggled is what that needs to be. The same thing here. And then this would only increment though if clear toggled was true. I don't know how that would actually go. And then we're kind of piling up if statements there. Yeah, because what this is going to do is probably... Well, I mean, we do have that other one there. Clear toggled. Alright, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's send a message to the player, just so we can kind of log out that clear max timer as well. Probably wasn't the best way of doing it. Third max, that went up to 11. Min clear time. Okay, so that went up to 11 because of that. Let's do 5. And max clear time's 20. That probably go up to 5 and then stop. Okay. Third max 6. And realistically, I shouldn't be running those messages together, but so that is any of this shutting the clear toggle to false? That's why it's doing that. So I can do the same thing with the max cleared toggle, but then if I had that in, then we're going to have a lot of like conditional things up here. I guess it's not too bad right now. Cleared toggle, clear enable. Tell you what, it certainly gets discombobulated. Okay. need to nest them because I hate nesting if statements. Do clear max timer. Equal to false. Then we can run this code. Okay. So it would mean that it would run it under that value of 20. And then if the max timer, max clear timer, or clear max timer. Oh man, this is where things start to get confusing. Having all of these things named similar. Max clear time. Man, who named this? This is horrible. Clear max timer and max clear time. Who would name them something like that? Max clear time. Max clear time equals 0. I think it was clear max timer increment by 1. And then no, apparently not. It was a max clear timer. Except it was a camel case. Max clear time, if I could spell. Okay, increment, and then once it is up to there, then we can reset that to 0, and I think that should work for the maximum amount. And you know, I should probably just comment out the other message here. And then let's just move this down here. Their cooldown 14. No code. Great. I believe that's red. I just think that's out of the scope. Yeah. No, maybe it's not. Clear cooldown timer. Did I bring this back up? No, 20. Clear's enabled. Okay, so we're good there. That's true. Uh. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Then I should be. Yeah. Okay, so it's running that code block. Hmm. Oh. Alright, so we don't need to see the random number that we're pulling, so this one can be commented out. Clear cooldown. Third map. So let's get the value of cleared max and put that on the screen. Cleared max timer, and then we're also going to want to read what this was doing as well. So clear max time plus max clear time. This is not healthy naming for dyslexic people, I swear. Max clear time. Okay. Okay, so we're at 20. Or is that the max that I've set for max clear time. Plus plus. Yeah, that's set for 20. Hmm. So if yeah, this is written wrong. Your max timer 0. Okay, so I'm incrementing the wrong one. That's what it's doing. Your max timer plus plus. Let's get that set. If that's equal to false, then we're going to increment that until it is greater than max clear time. So that should be fine. And then once it's greater than max clear time, then we're going to run that and set it to no clear max timer. Set that to 0. Now that should allow this to kind of do a little loop-de-loop. Except I'm only printing out that again. I'll leave that for now. And then clear max timer. So we want to do clear max timer. This one does not need to be sending a message on that. Zero, zero, zero. Okay, so it's not incrementing. Max clear time is set to 20. Oh, I'm broken. Oh, that's why. You biscuit eating bulldog. Except it's not, because it still doesn't work. And make sure that was still in that code block. Unless it was just incrementing, because this is the global value. Let me see if it'll increment inside of the code block. That's probably what it is. It's probably not hoisted. Alright, well that's cool. I mean, you don't have to work. Was it from... Gonna be this one here. Oh, I'm using the assignment like it dummy again. Out of the water. And then this should be able to pull this out of the quote. I believe. Okay. Pull this out of the actual loop. No. Okay, if clear max enabled is at false, then run the code. And then that would be max enabled. Would be false, so it should be running the code. And then incrementing that. There it goes. That's better. So then once it starts raining, now I'm just setting this up for clear. But like I said, this is most likely going to be more used for raining or thundering. Okay, and then just to stop that loop, we can go to and set this to true whenever we get to the very end here. So we'll reload that. And again, each one of these, although they're seconds now, they will eventually be minutes, where you can set those to the max amount of time that the weather can be cleared for, or raining for, or thundering for. And that should have reset it, however it did not. Max clear enabled equals, oh. Take two. And once that gets to the end, okay, still running that loop because it's still in that code block. Max, oh, because of this. Okay, I guess I can't be mad about that. But just to make sure it shuts off when it's supposed to. I guess we need to reload that. If this is max clear max timer is greater than max clear time, then do this. Oh, this would actually be backwards, wouldn't it? Max clear time would be our fixed variable. Yeah, 20 minutes. So we would want this. If this was less than max clear time. That's why it's not working. I don't know why it worked before though. Okay, we're incrementing that. This is false. Reloading that should restore it to default values. I don't know why that's not working. Get like one little cleared max equals 0. Oh. No, that was right before. Yeah, because we just want to measure that once it goes over that amount, so that was correct. So now it should increment up. But it doesn't. I don't think it's because it's in the await code block. So if this is false, which it is, whenever that's reloaded, we're going to increment that. And then once the clear max timer that's being incremented up is less than max clear time. No, this needs to be the other way. So once the max clear timer is greater than max clear time, then it would just run this, clear into weather, setting clear max timer to 0. Clear max enabled to true. probably breaking this entire thing. Let me comment this out quick, and then the code will probably run. I got a feeling that's what's happening. Is this set to true by default? They're enabled. That's false. I mean, that's certainly another issue too, because this async await really needs to be toggled once the clear max timer. So realistically, once this reaches 20, or once this comes back through, so once clear max timer is equal to max clear timer, then it should run this command. Honestly, I mean, I don't really want to mess that without running all that code, but I guess this is something that, you know, can technically be worried about later. I just don't know why this is not wanting to work currently. Unless it's all still nested under here. Let me look. Okay, so that goes to there. And we got this if statement from here to here. Clear max enabled is false. Which it is. Plus, and then clear max timer, clear time, or max clear time. So if clear max timer would be the variable to 0, we're incrementing that up by 2. That would show a value of 1 before it even does that. Is greater than max clear time, be 20. Oh, clear max timer. Oh, that makes perfect sense, and I'm a moron. Yep, that's usually the way it goes, isn't it? All right. So isn't programming fun? Okay, then it's going to restart, which is fine. So then we want to go and basically go to clear max enabled to true. That's basically going to allow it to run one time. So it'll count up, and then once it goes to true, then it's going to stop basically counting up. However, it is still going to send that 0 message. So it'll stop incrementing that, but then it's going to continue sending. No, maybe it's not going to continue sending. Can't stop sending that because okay. Okay, because we were in this bigger one. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly where it needs to be. Perfect. Oh, alrighty. So that should be fine for the rain and the thunder. And then next we need to start implementing all this other stuff. So I mean the toggle thunder, rain, clear, I mean that doesn't get really any simpler than that. We can basically honestly do that real quick. I just hate having all these conditions here. So I pretty much almost already got that. Lightning enabled, rain enabled, and clear enabled. And I mean, honestly, they should probably be in a different order, but you know, meh. So if clear is enabled, if rain is enabled, if lightning's enabled, then run the code pretty much. So this has already been taken care of on the clear clock. And for the lightning clock, it'd be the same thing. And the rain clock, so it'd just be put in the if bracket and or an if statement. And if rain enabled equals true, then run the code. Then you can toggle that off with either commands or with GUI. So, I mean, that's pretty easy to do there. Draw how often it thunders. So basically what's going on with this is we have the min and max that we just set. So we have the cooldown, which is going to be the clear cooldown timer. And then we have, so that's going to be like the min value. And then we have the max value here. And I mean, realistically, these should probably be lower. That way we don't get all confused. This one can go up here. So we have the min and max, and then the weather will be controlled by a randomizer. The way this randomizer works is basically running a function for get random integer, and it's going to be picking between 1 and clear time input. Clear time input is going to be equal to whatever amount you put into this. So that's basically going to give you a spread of numbers depending on the amount that it's going to have to pick from. So if you made clear time input equal 2, then it would pick a random number between 1 and 2. Well, that doesn't really give you a whole lot of numbers to choose between. So this will run the code whenever the random number clear, which is what this function equals, is equal to 1. So if you put a number 2 here and it can only pick between 1 and 2, it's going to be picking 1 very often. However, if you make clear time input equals something like 1000, then the chances of it equaling 1 is now 1 in 1000. And it's going to randomly pick a number between 1 and 1000, and whenever that number equals 1, then it's going to run the code. So you can basically use this to determine how often it's going to actually have a chance of running a clear code or a rain code or a thunder code. And that can all be adjustable on the fly by using commands or GUIs. So that's basically how this randomizer is going to work. Then whenever that does equal that, it's just basically going to run a command on the dimension, and that's going to be the overworld dimension, and run the weather clear command or the weather rain command or the weather thunder command. So that part's pretty straightforward. It's all of the other stuff that becomes very convoluted and discombobulated. But I think, let's see, how long have I been streaming? About 2 hours now. So I think that I'm getting to the point where I'm going to probably call it. I know I haven't been doing a whole lot on my channel as of lately. I've been trying to get back into the whole YouTube grindy bits. Working full time and dealing with hunting season, being out in the woods, and of course, you know, have to add in having 2 kids there and all the other stuff, you know, having some type of family life. So time is pretty rare these days, but I do want to putting out content, or I do want to continue putting out content, which would be a better way of wording it. I do really want to. I'm really considering starting a hardcore world, and I'm trying to determine, and this is kind of where I'm up in the air. Of course, with everything after, you know, Project Bedrock happened. There are talks of Project Bedrock Season 3. Don't know if it's going to be a sure thing, but it seems to be what's being planned. I really still am apprehensive, which has, you know, led to a lot of me stepping back from Minecraft. Only because I don't want to build up something only for it to all come crashing down again. And that's why I've taken a serious step back of, you know, on top of my hectic schedule getting even more hectic. But I do want to continue making content. I'm up in the air whether or not, as far as like let's play content, stuff like that, I'm almost wondering if I should just do like Java content, as far as like finding a Java SMP or something like that, only because Bedrock's so far behind on, you know, the quality of life things. Yeah, we have a lot of good add-on creators, but the problem is, and if you've watched, you know, some streams like this one where you can actually see us developing the add-ons, we're highly limited on not just our skills. I mean, I'm more limited on my skills because I'm still very novice to programming. However, we're really limited compared to Java as to what we have access to and what we can do. And that just really hampers our ability to really put out the best add-ons possible. I mean, we want to be able to do so much more, but it's whether or not we have access to that from Mojang. Now, Mojang is slowly starting to trickle stuff like that into the game, and, you know, give credit where it's due. On their end, it is a lot for them to add in. However, it's going to take quite a bit of time for Bedrock's API system, add-on, stuff like that to get anywhere close to what Java is, if it ever will. So that's kind of why I've been up in the air as far as like the actual let's play and stuff like that, like entertainment side of things, and wondering if it should be better going to like Java doing that. And I'm talking like vanilla base play. I'm not talking like create and other add-ons like that, which, I mean, are always a possibility. I would still continue to like having some type of Bedrock SMP or something like that. And the Bedrock tutorials and, you know, me creating on Bedrock, that's not going anywhere. I will probably always primarily be a Bedrock channel. But as far as the actual like entertainment videos that I release, strongly considering doing that with maybe a Java SMP, but still haven't made up my mind yet. And then the whole Project Bedrock thing, still up in the air about that as well. Like I said, I honestly want to build it back up and really miss that. But again, you know, you don't want to build something up only for it to come crashing down again. So, I mean, any recommendations, comments, anything like that, it's always greatly appreciated down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And I know that, you know, what all happened affected not just, you know, myself, but it affected you guys as viewers as well. So that's kind of where I'm at with the future of the channel. And as soon as I have another definitive update, you guys will be the first to know. And had to mute. I'm beginning to lose my voice, I think, from being sick and talking so much. But anyways, with that being said, I think I'm going to cut the stream short here. So just rolling over to about 2 hours. Maybe here soon, be able to do a live stream and actually play some Minecraft. And maybe even get into the hardcore world and see what we can do. Now, the hardcore world, I'm kind of up in the air about if I should just stream it, or if I should stream it and video record it, or if I should just video record it. One of those things. Hardcore is kind of a odd one because, you know, a lot of people will kind of say that you're cheating if it's not full live stream. Oh, but anyways, up in the air about that. But I'll eventually get it figured out, and I'll let you guys know whatever I come up with. As always, drop a comment down below. I'm going to jump off of here because I'm starting to get into a coughing fit from starting to get sick. And like I said, I think I'm going to probably be losing my voice. I guess it's that time of year, but yeah, drop a comment down below, and hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I know that was kind of more of a slower stream, and not the most entertainment, more education and just kind of playing around getting another add-on put together. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys dropping in for the amount of time that you did, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys soon with another stream. Hope that you have a good night. I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good night.